Well, if that ain't paradise, I don't know what is. It's incredible.
Just amazing.
We have never seen anything like this.
This is the best day ever.
G'day guys, welcome back to another episode. I'm Jack and this is Megan if you're new here. We are currently travelling around Australia in our Troopy full time. But you might be thinking, no you're not. But we've actually treated ourselves to an apartment up here in Broome.
Yeah,
so we
partly to treat ourselves and partly to film more of these sit down videos that we love to do.
Yep, we put a question box on Instagram on the stories and we got bombarded with questions.
We weren't expecting quite so many.
So we're going to do our best to answer as many as we can. And some of the most common questions that were asked were to do with planning, general stuff.
Life on the road full time.
Planning was a big one, and it is a very hard one to talk about. It
depends on the person, but we'll let you know exactly how we do it. If we have to plan something in advance for school holidays or that sort of thing, or if we come to a really unfamiliar area where we really don't know what is going on, like New South Wales for us, it was very foreign. So basically the first thing I do is open up Instagram and I have a bunch of saved folders organised by state, and then basically just save everything that looks really cool, anything I think I might want to visit, and then from there we put it into Google Maps, get our route, and then from there, once we've got our route, we get on Wikicamps and then see what's
just
around.
back on the route, when we got our route, we actually see what's way out of the way.
Oh yeah, if anything is way out of the way, we have to sort of make the decision if it's worth going
most
all
of
that
the
way.
time it's not worth that. So
if it's just one thing, then we won't
probably
always go
won't
way out of our way. Wikicamps will also have some extra point of interest pins that might have some cool stuff along the way, and then from there we pick our campsites through Wikicamps as well.
If you don't have Wikicamps, you need to get Wikicamps. We've done our whole trip off it basically.
We were going to do a whole video just on our planning process, so that's basically just the bare bones of it, but we'll definitely be doing a blog post on it once we get all that set up as well.
And in saying that, there is so many available on the internet already. So
that's another part of my planning process as well. When we're doing Tropical North Queensland, their blogs on their tourism website had so many helpful itineraries as well.
There's so many. That was the first question. We thought we'd get that one out of the way because it's a hard question to answer.
It's just a process. And as we say in our vlogs, we don't always plan, but when you need to, it's helpful to have a structure to follow.
So Instagram, Wikicamps, Google Maps, they're your best friends. So the next question is, how many great campsites would you miss by only having a two-wheel drive? In our opinion, definitely try and get a four-wheel drive if you can. But everyone's different.
It also depends what sort of camping you enjoy doing as well. If beach camping isn't really your style, then I wouldn't really bother with it. And also for us, we like to get away from crowds, so having a four-wheel drive helps with that as well. So. And
a high clearance car, if you're going to go for a two-wheel drive, maybe a bit high clearance, bigger tyres, because most of the national parks are off on corrugated roads and a bit muddy here and there. And in
Northern Territory and WA mostly. Queensland was all really well accessible.
So I don't know, Megan said it already, but four-wheel drive allows you to get to places where nobody goes. Not many people go because they can't get there. And believe me, when you get to those places, it's just like it's awesome. So four-wheel drive for us, but like we said, everyone's
personal
different.
Preference. So we've got a few questions about just living on the road full time. So what surprised you the most, and what do you miss about having a home base?
What surprised me the most? What surprised you the most?
Well, for just traveling in general, I think what surprised me the most was how many amazing people you meet along the way. You can be in the middle of nowhere and just meet a random person, and then the nicest person you've ever met in your entire life. And for me, that was a big surprise.
It's changed our whole perspective on people. There is a lot of nice people out there, and
everyone's just willing to help you all the time, and everyone's so like-minded. As well.
Everyone's doing the same thing, and where we've met those people is just crazy. In the middle of nowhere.
And then what do you miss from home?
Well, it's a bit of a hard one, but routine. Sometimes you miss routine because you're always in a new spot most days. And the routine can be pretty hard to keep a routine, like working out and eating properly. So your routine is the biggest one for me. and I think it was for you as well.
Yeah, and then obviously we miss our friends and family.
Yeah, and another funny thing is as well, is when we left on our trip, you really do find out who misses you the most because you start talking to them on the phone more.
Yeah.
So you really do figure out who your good friends are and what family members really like you. So that's pretty cool. We've worked that out. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. It's a funny one.
What is something you've learned along the way that you wish you knew beforehand?
I've written down a few here. So what I worked out halfway through the trip was, or maybe not halfway, a little bit before, was we've got 2 90-litre diesel tanks. Definitely don't need to be filling them up. So I was weighing the car down way too much for most of the trip. Because there's fuel stations every 250 kilometres, and if you're going to go remote, you know you're going remote, so you'd fill both tanks up then. So don't always fill your tanks up all the way. And what else have I written?
Solar blanket?
Oh yeah, so we've got a solar panel on the roof permanently. It is good to have there in cases like this where we're parked up and for a few days and it needs to keep the fridge going, but I would definitely get a quality solar panel. I didn't at the start and I regretted it. We do have a good one now and it's made a huge difference to when we stop at camp.
Yeah.
Because we're always looking for shade.
Yeah. And
there was one more there. Oh yeah, get the wiki camps offline. Download the offline apps because you won't be in service all the time. And the last thing is people's opinions. We can't always listen to people's opinions because there may be something that you enjoy but they didn't. And if you don't go to that place because they said don't go, you could be missing out on something.
Yeah, and vice versa as well.
Because we have definitely gone to places where I've had mates tell me, go here, we spent 3 weeks here. We got there and we didn't quite like it.
Yeah.
So everyone's different again, so don't always listen to opinions.
Yeah.
What's the next question?
So next up, what was the hardest part about the Gibb River Road?
You can tell them.
Well, I just don't like the feeling of being dusty and dirty for that many days in a row. So that was bit of a struggle, but other than that, and then also we're quite anxious people, so because it's so hyped up, and we got a flat tire, and it's always so hyped up that wrecks your car and all that sort of thing. So we just had that anxiety a lot of the time. So
especially after getting a flat tire 60 kilometres in, the anxiety levels were high.
Yeah.
And the corrugations, of course, that was the hardest thing.
Yeah. Well, it's just so strange. Like I said, you get out of the car and it feels like you've been bouncing on a trampoline. We've never experienced that before. It was really funny.
And another thing that comes to my mind as well is you got to try and do the stuff in the morning because during the day it gets hot. You're in the middle of nowhere and it gets hot.
Yeah, that was the next question as well. How are you handling the heat and humidity up north? But humidity is not too bad, especially in Broome right now. It is perfect.
Obviously, time of the year.
Yeah, but we did struggle in Darwin a little bit with the heat. But it was like 2 weeks straight of just going to sleep drenched in your own sweat.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That was a struggle, but
so pick your times right with Darwin, Northern Territory. That's been the worst.
I feel like it's hot all the time now.
Yeah, it's hot.
But beautiful.
But yeah, it's all comes down to when you go travelling.
Just get yourself a fan.
Yeah, get a fan.
Or an aircon if you can fit it in yourself.
Something to move that hot air around.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Do you ever spend time apart while on the road?
We're together 24/7.
Yeah.
Obviously, sometimes we do need to spend time apart when Megan's editing or we've just been together too much.
Yeah.
I'll go down to the beach, Megan will stay in the car or vice versa.
Yeah.
Because you need to. Otherwise you're going to kill each other. But yeah, we've got pretty good. It's been a huge relationship tester.
Yeah, we definitely would have broken up by now if
we were going to. So we made it. So yeah, it's something important actually that you should definitely work on. You have to spend time apart and make sure that's in your schedule of things.
Yeah. What haven't you used on your trip so far? Something you packed, thought you'd use, but never did.
Stand-up paddleboard.
Yep.
And what was the other one? Chainsaw. I bought a chainsaw. The Makita chainsaw that Megan hates.
Not essential whatsoever. I hate that we have to find room for this in the car.
You don't need it. You don't need those two things we've just said.
Vindication!
Other than that, we did a lot of research in the beginning, and I think all that time and effort we put in has paid off because we use most of the things on the car.
Yeah.
May have went overboard with spare parts, but like I said, we're anxious people, so we know we've got those spare parts there. So each to their own on that one. But yeah, everything we've got on the car we pretty much use.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what's one thing you wouldn't leave home without?
Max tracks. Got to get a set of max tracks and compressor. Air compressor, because if you're going off-road you want to pump your tyres up when you come off, back onto the bitumen.
And for the less four-wheel drivey type things, I'd say one nice warm jumper.
Yeah.
I've got a massive one and I can just wear that with a singlet or a t-shirt and still be warm in really cold climates.
And deodorant. Make sure you've got plenty of deodorant.
Yeah.
we tend
that would be like saying make sure you got food.
Yeah. Just make sure you got a couple deodorants because you don't shower as much.
What's one of the best things you invested in?
The alu cap.
Yeah.
The roof conversion, our sleeping quarters.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best investment we did.
Yeah. When we were stuck in the rain, we were just like, this is the best. Thank God.
And the fit out as well. The way we built the fit out, it's been the best thing we did. Yeah. So fit out and rooftop tent.
Okay, so we had a few people asking how long should you spend, and it really just depends.
It depends
on your personal preference. We know people that have done it in 5 months. We know people that take 4 years.
I had a mate that did it in 3 months.
Yeah.
I don't know how he enjoyed that, but he did it and he said he enjoyed it. So we've done it in 10, 11, eh?
Yeah, probably less than that. By the time we get back, it'd probably be 10.
10 months.
But I think that's the other thing as well. In the beginning, I was a bit caught up on how we should be traveling and how other people do it, and we're doing it wrong, we're going too fast, we're doing this, we're doing that, but it all comes down to what you have to make sure you're enjoying it.
Yeah, it takes a couple months to get your head around it.
Yeah.
And then you just figure it out what you both like and just
and if you just get to a place and you think, no, I don't really like it, don't feel guilty about moving on.
Yeah.
Because you could find somewhere else that you enjoy a lot more.
So there's no real set time.
Yeah.
But more than 3 months.
Yeah. So someone else asked, clockwise or anti-clockwise, what is better?
I would say clockwise because, so you've started from WA.
So the opposite to what we did.
Yeah, opposite to what we did.
Yeah.
I say that because you're going to be going north up WA, and
but I guess that depends what state you start in though, because if you're in Queensland then you'd be going up.
Yeah, but
just go north first.
Yeah, so if you're in WA, you're going to be coming up to the top of WA and then working your way over, and that is the roughest parts of Australia we have found.
Mm-hmm.
Gibb River Road, Cape York and all that kind. We didn't go to Cape York, but it's rough. And all those kinds of places. I wish we could have gave the car the beating then, instead of how we've done it at the end of the trip, because through Victoria, New South Wales and half of Queensland, it's not really that rough. It's all pretty much highways, eh?
Yeah.
So, and then when you start getting to the top, it's rough. So I'd say get that out of the way first, and then it's all kind of smooth sailing from there.
Yeah. So I say just go depending on the seasons.
Yeah.
Depends what time of year you go as well.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree with that
so
as well.
Get the roughness out first, is what I reckon.
Do you meet any other single travellers on the road tossing up whether or not to go alone?
Definitely, we've seen heaps.
Yeah.
We've seen single travellers going for hikes by themselves. We see them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're in lots of vans.
And like we said, everyone is so super friendly everywhere. So I think if you wanted to go out and meet other people, then it'd be so easy to do so.
And being as busy as it is,
the safety issues isn't a factor either. So
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So definitely don't let that hold you back.
Mm-hmm. Positives and negatives of social media.
Oh, we've had some filthy comments. Some disgusting comments. I don't even know why people would say what they've said.
Yeah. When we first started getting them, I used to get really hyped up and be like, need to tell this person off. But now we just started deleting them and it's a lot better. But
positive vibes only.
Yeah.
But there's some mean people out there.
Yeah, but the positives outweigh that tremendously. So
just like all these questions we got is just a huge positive. And
and people commenting saying that our videos are helping them through lockdowns and that sort of thing. It's just I've never ever done anything in my life that gives me as much joy as this.
And then also we're getting messages saying that we're inspiring people to go and do their trip. Now that is the best feeling ever. That is the best thing about social media. Mm-hmm. It's wicked.
Yeah.
So positives outweigh the negatives.
100%.
For sure.
So our thoughts on having a Patreon.
Yeah.
So it is recent for us. We only just sort of set up our Patreon account. In the beginning, we were like thinking what we're putting out isn't really that good.
Yeah.
But now I feel like we've sort of stepped up our level of content. We're definitely putting a lot more effort into it. Like this vlog that I just edited for Sunday, I'm so proud of it. It's a full production.
Yeah.
So that's going to be on Patreon on Friday and ad free.
So become a Patreon. But yeah, I feel like it's something we're definitely going to be putting a lot more effort into, and we're going to be starting to build that up and advertising it more, because this is something that we want to do. We are definitely going to be putting our blood, sweat and tears into it in the coming months.
Already put a few tears into it.
Yeah, so that is definitely something we're working on, and we would greatly appreciate if you joined us on Patreon.
Yes.
So that's that one. And did you find it difficult to start vlogging? Any advice to make it easier?
I definitely found it difficult. It was a lot easier for you, I think. Yeah, just a confidence issue for me, which I'm still getting over a little bit, but advice to make it easier, just do it. Just do it. Get on camera and just do it as often as you can. And it's still difficult for me, because sometimes I'll get started talking about something and I'll be like, who the hell wants to hear about this? And then I'll just stop what I'm saying. But then when I'm editing a video and Jack's just talking about random crap, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome, like you did such a good job at vlogging this. But it's just like talking crap. That's what you're good at.
Just talk crap. The biggest thing is you have to be yourself. I look at the videos when Megan's editing them, and sometimes we'll look at them and go, we really are being ourselves. You have to be yourself when you're doing.
It would be way too difficult to be trying to play a character at the same time.
So be yourself, and just do it. You will cringe at yourself. You will look back. You'll look back at some of the videos and just laugh. It is so funny. But I mean, you're having a laugh, so it's good time. But yeah, that's our advice. Just do it. If
you didn't have a Troopy, or if you couldn't get a Troopy, what would be the next vehicle of choice? I can't read now.
A four-wheel drive bus.
Oh, it'd be so good.
There's a couple called Salt and Charcoal on Instagram. Go check them out. They take wicked photos. They recently got a four-wheel drive Toyota Coaster bus, and it is awesome. I reckon it'd be wicked to have. I have been looking online quite a bit, but you just can't find them. They're rare. So that would be the go-to vehicle for me. What would you want?
That or a yacht.
We've been talking about getting a boat or a sailboat and living off a boat, but that's we have got no clue.
No clue.
But how good would it be?
Alright, so things to look out when on the hunt for a Troopy and favourite mods. We're actually going to compile into their own videos. We're going to do full videos on those ones. And does Megan know how to drive manual? No, I do not.
No.
And if I did, I still probably wouldn't drive, because this one's the worst backseat driver in the whole of Australia.
In control, man.
Any dislikes with our Troopy setup? We do have a video on this one as well that I'll link up top, but
the rear bar, I've said it a few times, I checked out on a rear bar, get a heavy duty rear bar.
But with like the internal fit out, I still think it's pretty much perfect.
It's pretty much perfect.
Are you happy with your clothes storage? 100%. I don't think we could have done clothes storage any better or maximised the space anymore. So, and that was the cabinet maker's idea. So
we got plenty of space for clothes. It comes down to how much research we did. We put a lot of energy into researching and getting it right.
So much. Are you planning on any changes to the Troopy before we set off again?
Our rear bar will be replaced. Suspension setup. Try and get a softer suspension setup to make the ride a little bit better. And I want better tyres with a tougher sidewall. After what happened on the Gim River, I want a nice tough sidewall on the tyre. Other than that, maybe a bit more power in the engine, but that's a bit hard to do. So it like we said, it's pretty bloody good. The Troopy served us well.
Any security measure tips for a Troopy?
Okay, so as you might have seen in photos or videos, I've put lights all around the exterior of the Troopy with 3 switches up in our bed to bang them on. Now that makes me feel pretty safe when I'm sleeping. It doesn't have an alarm, and we just lock the doors. But yeah, no proper security measures. We have not felt like we need that because there's always people around. Most of the time, you feel pretty safe.
Do you plan on selling your Troopy as is?
Everything's got a price. If you offer,
I plan on saving a lifetime to buy it.
I would sell the Troopy for 55 grand right now.
I wouldn't even sell it for that. It's too much of my home.
We're in love with it.
It's literally the most I have felt at home somewhere.
Yeah.
Since I was a child. It's weird.
Yeah, in saying that, I just saw one, the same setup as ours, but a little bit newer, $165,000.
What?
I couldn't believe it. So, 150 grand, guys, you can have it.
Alright, so what made you guys want to start travelling Australia?
We were sitting at...
And what was the moment?
Yeah, okay, so the moment and what made us want to do it was my mate did it, and he said it was the best thing he ever did.
But you always wanted to travel Australia.
I love camping, yeah.
And didn't really have any interest of going overseas either.
No.
I had the interest of going overseas.
But I convinced her.
But yeah, I realised that Australia was probably cooler anyway.
So the moment was we're sitting at the dining table and we just looked at each other and said, we're doing it.
Yeah, so we were, I don't know what it was. We must have had like a milestone birthday or something, and then we were talking about...
It was bad days at work.
Getting married and having kids and settling down and all that sort of thing, and then decided we didn't want to do that yet, so... Yeah. How hard was it for you to make the decision to pack up your lives?
Like we just said, it was so easy.
So easy,
did it.
Yeah.
And started acting on it straight away, and that's what gave us motivation as well. It's like taking the steps.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Okay, so we've got a few about budget and how much a full trip would cost and that sort of thing. So we're going to be filming another video all about budgeting and just what a typical week looks like for us. But that being said, it's such a personal thing. One person could go around Australia and spend $20,000. Someone else could go around Australia and spend 100 grand. Yeah. So
everyone's different. Like we've met people that are free camping a lot more than what we have. So they would not need as big as budget as what we had.
Yeah.
We will link a video above because we've done how much money you need to travel Australia.
Or how much we saved.
Yeah, we did our best at trying to tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, go watch that and it might answer a few questions.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be doing a video on that, and that will be coming out not next week, but the following Thursday.
Yeah. So that'll be a whole breakdown of how much we spent on everything.
Yeah.
For 7 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got everything listed. So it'll be a good one.
And then another question was, have you managed to stick to your budget? So like we said in this video, if I do it correctly. So yeah, we will budget $600 for each week, and most weeks we've
done pretty well. This week we didn't.
No, but
but
then that being said, we pretty much free camped for the entire week.
Made up for it.
Yeah.
Next, lot of questions. Good questions, guys. What are we going to be doing post trip? How long have we got left?
I'd say we probably have about 2 months left until we're back in Perth. That's probably being a bit generous, but for you guys it might be 3, because hopefully we'll be in loop with our travel vlogs, so we won't actually be back in Perth on YouTube.
We've changed as people so much, so it's weird going home. It feels very weird, but the first thing we will be doing when we get home is picking up our dog, because we miss him so much. So that'll be the first thing. Then we'll be getting jobs for 2 or 3 days a week, hopefully just 2. Because we want to keep the channel going. We want to pour our blood, sweat and tears into the channel and make it our full-time gig. We've fallen in love with doing it. It's our absolute passion.
We're going to try our hardest to keep up with the 2 videos a week as well.
It is hard, but we think we can do it.
And doing a lot of little travel, or a lot of camping vlogs around Perth with Ollie and that sort of thing. So
obviously it's going to be hard with keeping travel vlogs coming out, but hopefully we're only back in Perth for 3 or 4 months, and then we're back on the road depending on what COVID's doing. But we've got so many ideas in the pipeline. I want to buy a boat. Bit of a pipe dream.
That's on the vision board right now. There's not actionable steps to that one.
I want to live on a boat. That would be awesome. So that's a pipe dream there. My old man's got an FJ45 ute that is still registered and been in the family for 38 or 39 years, and it's been in the shed at my dad's mum's house for 16 or 17 years doing nothing, and it's still registered. So a build series on that is something I would love to do, and might be doing that if you guys leave enough comments down below to make it justifiable. we will definitely be doing that and taking that on adventures around WA.
That'd be so cool.
That would be awesome. And what else do we want to do?
Well, there is a lot of other aspects that we'll be getting into in order to, you know, make it feasible to do it full time eventually. Like I said before, we'll definitely be doing a blog and website and that sort of thing.
We're going to get some merchandise out, but we're going to try and be creative with our merchandise. Everybody seems to have shirts, beer stubby holders. We want to try do something different. We're not sure yet, but we're going to sit down for a few days and work that out, but it should be interesting. So get that up and running, and we really want to give the whole YouTube thing our best shot, and we're going to. So if you want to become a Patreon, we already said it, but if you're in a position to do it, we would absolutely appreciate it so much.
Get us on the road again sooner, but even if you're not in that position, just liking the videos, making sure you're subscribed and commenting as much as you can. It helps so much in getting our content out there for other people to see.
Help.
So.
And remember, if you want to see the Land Cruiser build with the old ute, leave a comment down below, because that's what's gonna make me do it. So leave.
I think you're gonna do it regardless.
Leave the comments down below. We'll see you next episode. It's a good one.